It is finally happening. The time is finally here. The Rams are done talking about the preseason. We're talking about the regular season as the Rams officially finish their final preseason game versus the Cleveland Browns. We're going to talk about the storylines around the season starting all on today's episode of the Rams Digest. I'm your host, Joshua Giron. Remember, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Press the subscribe button now, as roughly 64.5% of you guys are watching the videos, but you're still not pressing that subscribe button. All I'm saying is if you're already watching the video, you might as well press that subscribe. I can't talk right now. You might as well press that subscribe button so you don't miss any daily Rams content here at the Rams Digest. I'm a little jittery. I'm a little excited. I got to get out of here to go to SoFi Stadium for my very own or my first, or I don't know what I was going to say, but I'm so excited because I'm going to SoFi Stadium today to rent a suite out and have my fantasy football draft, our 10th annual fantasy football draft in my main league. It's my brothers and a bunch of close friends. So shout out to all of you guys who play fantasy football out there. Give me some comments, give me some advice down below in the comment section. But I'm about to draft today, so drop your comments down ASAP. Very excited for that. If you guys are not excited for fantasy football, I'm sorry if I talk about it here and there. I love fantasy football season. About to go have my draft and at SoFi. I mean, that tells you all you need to know about how much I love fantasy football. But today, we are talking a little bit about the Rams finally finishing out their preseason versus the Cleveland Browns. Today, of course, preseason's finally over. We can celebrate that because I know it can be a little bit boring. It's exciting to watch football again, but a little boring to watch preseason football at times, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but maybe I'm alone in that. So I'm always intrigued to watch for sure for certain position battles. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the same feel as a regular season game, right? The Rams' final game versus the Cleveland Browns, they lose 19-17. Got a little close at the end there. The Rams love having close preseason matchups, and it really is, I think, in my opinion, a testament to what Sean McVay, the culture Sean McVay has built here with the Rams. Guys play hard. Guys play hard no matter who they're playing, no matter what time of year. They will play hard for Sean McVay, and so that is definitely a testament to what he's set up here with the culture here for the Rams. But ultimately, the Rams lose. It is what it is. It's a preseason game. They played pretty well. We had a lot of interesting plays for sure. One interesting key piece that we talked about before the game even started was Terrence Ferguson, the Rams tight end, right? Had a nice little catch there. He was kind of in the slot. Interesting to see how the Rams were using him. Nice one-on-one catch. It looked like something that we can see him doing throughout the year, this upcoming season. So that was very intriguing. Of course, other battles going on there. Overall, generally speaking, though, I think the Rams kind of know who their 53-man roster is going to be. And these are kind of some general names that we can look at. Now, I don't want to read through all of it here, but, Stafford, Garoppolo, Bennett, we know that's going to be the quarterback room. We know Kyren Williams, Blake Corum, and Jarquez Hunter is going to be the running back room. Now, will Cody Schrader officially make that fourth running back official for the Rams? Something I think the Rams have done in the past, especially in recent years, carry four running backs. But will he officially be that running back? I think he's played well enough. Sorry if you heard that notification. My fantasy football draft party starting soon. But yeah, he's a guy who definitely has, fought his way to be very well in that running back 4 kind of slot, but ultimately, will the Rams keep 4 running backs? We'll wait and see on that. Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, Jordan Whittington, Konata Mumfield, and Xavier Smith. Shout out to Xavier Smith for really fighting and making it really hard for the Rams to let him go. I think he's going to be a guy who rounds out your receiver room. Then you're looking at the tight ends, right? Taylor Higbee, Terrence Ferguson, Davis Allen. Maybe they only keep 3 here and move on from Parkinson. Would be a tough to see for sure after we've seen a couple good plays the last couple years from Kobe Parkinson. But ultimately, the Rams want to go more of the young Davis Allen, Terrence Ferguson route with Tyler Higbee being there. I can see that happening. If the Rams do go 2 tight end sets, I can also see them maybe keeping 4 tight ends rather than maybe 4 running backs. Cody Schrader moves on in that case. We'll see what they finally decide there. Offensive line, we know Lark Jackson's probably going to start the season on an IR kind of stint or maybe a pup list kind of stint. We'll have to wait and see on what the official word is on that. But DJ Humphrey, Steve Avila, probably Coleman Shelton starting with Bo Limmer backing him up. Rob Havenstein, Kevin Dotson finishing out that right side. And then you have the backup offensive line here. You got Warren McClendon Jr., Willie Lampkin, the fourth, really impressing some people, probably making the roster possibly. We'll have to wait and see. Small offensive lineman to keep, but we'll see if we do that. And then David Quessenberry. So the backups kind of really filling out that offensive line roster. I think for the most part, we know who the key pieces are going to be on offense. We know who we're really looking at, who we really need to play and be healthy throughout the season for the Rams to have a real shot at winning. And I think this is kind of generally speaking what the offense can look like. I can see Kobe Parkinson making the roster. I can see Cody Schrader making the roster. We'll see how much space they have in terms of what if the final numbers look like. But I can see those things definitely happening for sure. And you move into the defensive side of things. More things we expect, right? Braden Fisk, Puna Ford, Tyler Davis, Kobe Turner. Larrell Murchison and Ty Hamilton. Those are two names I think could possibly make the roster. I think they definitely did flash some things here. But ultimately, will you keep 6 kind of defensive linemen like that? That's an intriguing question to ask. I think they might keep more on the 5 side of things. Maybe you're saying Ty Hamilton is kind of out in this scenario. Who knows? We'll wait and see on that. Edge rusher, Byron Young, Jared Verse, Brennan Jackson, and Josiah Stewart. Very much what we expect to see there. Linebacker is what's very, very interesting to kind of keep your eye on. Nate Landman, Omar Spades, Chris Paul Jr., Sean Dolak, all guys I think are for sure making the roster. What's going on with Troy Reeder? Is he going to be your leader for you? Is he going to make the roster and be that kind of vocal leader, kind of veteran leadership at the linebacker room? Are you okay losing out on that and moving on from Troy Reeder? I know what you fans want, but I know possibly the Rams keep a guy like Troy Reeder. We'll wait and see on that, though. Cornerback room, very much what we expect as well. Williams, Durant, Witherspoon, Forbes Jr., Darion Kendrick, A.J. Green. Pretty much what we can kind of expect here as well. Again, ultimately, just kind of more, nothing really too surprising here. I think the Rams kind of know what their roster is going to look like. And then Cam Kitchens, Cam Curl, Quentin Lake, Jalen McCullough. Again, all guys we expect to be on this roster. So let me know any names you feel on the offensive side of things or defensive side of things that are left off of this list that you really want to make the roster. Let me know down in the comment section down below. We definitely want to hear from you guys. But I think there's not too much surprise here, in my opinion. I think this is all kind of pretty chalk, in my opinion, for what we can expect the Rams to do. And some key cut candidates, of course. Obviously, special teams is going to be special teams. Josh McCarty, Phillips, Ward. But you're looking at key cuts here. Britton Covey, Troy Reeder, McMahon, Ronnie Rivers. Those are guys I think could possibly be practice squad candidates. We'll have to wait and see on it. Nick Hampton, Deshaun Johnson. Just guys who just didn't really do enough, I think, to solidify their roster slot here with the Rams. Ultimately, it's tough. It's tough business. Not really fun to see these guys go, but none of these guys are really going to no offense to any of them, but none of these guys are really going to break too many Rams fans' hearts, I don't think, at this point in time. I think we can be okay with what we have in terms of moving on from these guys for sure on the roster. But let me know how you guys feel about any of these guys. Any names you're married to that you're like, damn, I wish we really kept this guy. Let me know down below in the comment section. For sure I want to hear from you guys. But overall, again, kind of a tough time of year for sure for teams and GMs and coaches to say goodbye to some players. We'll wait and see who makes the practice squad, but ultimately very excited to see this final 53-man roster officially be finalized so we can kind of get the season rolling and going. And speaking of the season rolling and going, storylines, right? There's a lot of different storylines we want to discuss this year for the Rams. It's, some positives, some negatives for sure, some things we're worried about, some things we want to keep an eye on. And one of those things for sure is going to be Matthew Stafford, right? Of course. We've been talking about him all offseason. So, of course, he's going to be one of those guys. Dealing with a back injury. How is he going to hold up? Is he going to hold up okay? Is he going to be okay taking a hit, a blindside hit, especially with DJ Humphries being his left tackle now, right? Can DJ Humphries hold up? And occasionally, if he doesn't hold up, can Matthew Stafford take the hits and keep going? That is a question mark here. We know Stafford can do that, but will he be able to do it with this back injury specifically? That is what we're waiting and holding our breath to wait and see. Hopefully, Stafford can deal with it, power through it, but how do the Rams respond? Are they going to be careful, cautious? Are they worried about it? Or are they going to let him power through the pain early in the season? We'll wait and see on what the final decision is on that, but definitely something we all want to keep our eyes on throughout the year. And, of course, speaking of DJ Humphries, possibly giving up some sacks, hey, Alaric Jackson, of course, I'm rooting for him to be as healthy as possible as a human first, but as a football player, if he is expected to be back at some point this year, what is that timeline looking at? Is it a 4-week IR stint or is it a PUP list stint? Is it a long midway through the year stint? What is the timeline for Alaric Jackson? Something to definitely keep an eye on because of the Rams with a healthy Alaric Jackson, Steve Avila, Coleman Shelton, Kevin Dotson, and then you have Rob Havenstein healthy on the right side. That's a pretty good offensive line. So when Alaric Jackson's in there, if DJ Humphries is your starter, I think it's still okay, but can you rely on DJ Humphries to be healthy and strong and solidify a left tackle for the full year? We'll have to wait and see on that. It's something, again, to keep an eye on. And then moving on from that, last but not least, before we get into trivia, how will the defensive secondary hold up, right? This team, we know, they didn't go after Jalen Ramsey. They didn't go after Jair Alexander. They trusted Ahkello Witherspoon. They trusted Darius Williams. They trusted maybe a guy like Darion Kendrick, Emmanuel Forbes to kind of fill out that cornerback room. So they're trusting these young guys we have in the room, guys who have some experience, guys who have been making some decent plays for the Rams in recent years. Can they really, truly hold up enough to compete for a Super Bowl? Again, the ultimate goal for the Rams is to compete for a Super Bowl. Will the defense be able, the cornerback room especially, be able to hold up? Will that defensive line be able to be consistently good enough, we expect them to be as good as they were last year, but if they fall off a little bit, will that affect the secondary? Definitely something to keep an eye on throughout the year. Let me know what you guys are excited for this upcoming season. Any storylines in particular you really want to see? Is it Terrence Ferguson at tight end? Is it what they do with the two-man tight end group? Is it Stafford and Devontae Adams connection? What are you guys thinking about in terms of this upcoming season that you really want to keep your eye on early in the year? Let me know down below in the comment section. We want to hear from you guys. Moving on from that, trivia of the day, my favorite part of the episode, where I ask a trivia question. You give your trivia guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we give you a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. For those who missed the last episode's trivia of the day, here was the question that we asked everyone. We said, which quarterback holds the record for most career interceptions thrown? I actually did ask a similar question to this in the past, but it wasn't this exact question. The question I asked in the past was, who had the most interceptions in one season of certain quarterbacks? This one here was, which quarterback holds the record for most career interceptions thrown? Was it A, George Blanda? Is it B, Brett Favre? Is it C, Peyton Manning? Or is it D, Vinny Testaverde? A few of you guys played along with the trivia of the day. Appreciate you guys always for playing along. Here were the trivia guesses. Last episode, we had Rams House saying Brett Favre. We had the Roger Will saying, can Puka and Adams work in tandem, is what you wanted to say. I wanted to say the Roger Will. I actually wanted to say, will they complement each other well? I think that's what I wanted to say, but ultimately appreciate you for trying to figure out what I was kind of, just brain farting on one of the words last episode. Appreciate you, the Roger Will, for trying to kind of finish my sentence there, if you will. As far as trivia of the day, I'm going to say Brett Favre. I was up in the mountains for a bit of time, missed out on the great content. Glad to be back. Appreciate you, the Roger Will. We're glad to have you back. Hopefully you had a nice little vacation, or at least that nice time in the mountains, whatever it was you were doing. James says Peyton Manning. We had Paula saying Brett Favre. We had T1 saying Brett Favre. And we had Nathan saying the trivia answer is Brett Favre. More guesses here. More people play along. Appreciate all of you guys. Floyd says, this sounds like a question you've asked before. The answer was Blanda. You're right. I think Blanda has the most interceptions in a regular season. And then he says, so I'll say Brett Favre. We'll see if you're correct on that in a second, Floyd. Jaden says D, which was Vinny Testaverde. We had Jay saying Favre, most interceptions. We had Lake saying Favre. We had Roy Robb saying getting super excited about Rams football. Trivia answer is no other than John Madden's favorite player, the gunslinger, Brett Favre. Appreciate you, Roy Robb. And then Thomas says, so glad Stafford's doing great. You always have great content. Oh, appreciate you. Thomas, he says Brett Favre. So appreciate all of you guys for the kind words and also the trivia guesses. Sorry if I'm going quick, by the way. I'm trying to get out of here, go to SoFi, do my fantasy draft. All of you guys, appreciate every single name here who played with the trivia of the day, whether you're right or whether you're wrong. But the correct answer for the trivia of the day of which quarterback holds the record for most career interceptions thrown, the correct answer was B, Brett Favre. So shout out to the Rams House, shout out to the Roger Will, shout out to Paula, shout out to T1, shout out to Nathan, shout out to Floyd, shout out to Jay, shout out to Lake, Roy, Rob, and shout out to Thomas. Appreciate all of you guys for playing along with Trivia of the Day. A special shout out to the ones who did get it correct, but again, appreciate all of you for playing along nonetheless. If you guys missed this Trivia of the Day and you're like, that was easy, that's fun to get a shout out on the channel, well, get a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here by playing along with today's Trivia of the Day, which is this question here, which may be an easy one, by the way. What NFL team was named after a famous poem? Maybe you guys know the answer already without any multiple choice options. I don't know. We'll see. If you know poetry, you may know. If not, here are your multiple choice guesses, our options. What NFL team was named after a famous poem? Is it A, the Baltimore Ravens? Is it B, the Chicago Bears? Is it C, the New England Patriots? Or is it D, the Los Angeles Rams? What NFL team was named after a famous poem? Is it A, the Baltimore Ravens? Is it B, Chicago Bears? Is it C, the New England Patriots? Or is it D, the Los Angeles Rams? If you know anything about poetry, maybe an easy one. If you don't know anything about poetry, maybe a tough one. So let me know your guesses down below in the comment section. Whether you're right or whether you're wrong, we all get a shout out on the next episode that I'm on here at the Rams Digest. Other than that, that's going to do it for me on today's episode. Subscribe to the channel, please, if you're not subscribed already. That's going to do it for me. I'm your host, Joshua Giron, and I'm out.